bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate the world, peaches right.
Try a little better to hide your misogyny, just in the future.
Well, you can say what you're gonna say. I'm proud of who I am as a person, so I don't have to worry about that.
Well, I think that's the problem.
Oh, well, I know it's a problem with males being proud of themselves. I know.
No, it's a problem of males being proud of being misogynistic.
Well, the problem I see here is with you is your fight, your words, the fight that you guys use against a male, or just in general with the pro-life. Again, you can abort for certain reasons, like I already mentioned, but no matter what I say, it's going to be wrong because your way is right.
No, you just haven't said a good argument.
I said it already. Killing a baby is not right for no reason.
Give me another example where we force someone to let another person use their body to sustain their life.
Look, again, I can't get pregnant. So
I'm just asking. No, it doesn't even have to be that. Just give me another example.
So I've given you some examples, so you're saying I'm wrong. I mean,
you haven't given me one example.
So, no matter. So if I say something like, if you want to be let's say you're suicidal, right?
That's not the question. I really want to stay in this lane here. Give me another example where the government forces someone to allow another person to use their body to survive.
To use their body to survive? What do you mean? What
is the pregnant person's uterus keeping the fetus alive?
Okay, right. They keep the fetus alive.
Does she own that uterus?
Does she own that uterus? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it right for her to kill.
To deny the fetus access and resources to her uterus.
I still don't understand how you think it's okay for a woman to decide to kill a baby because she owns that uterus. It's still alive.
I reject the framing that it is a baby. It is a fetus that is using her bodily resources and processes to stay alive. And yes, because it is her body, she has the right to not consent to that and withdraw.
So how late should abortion be conducted? That's what I never asked that question.
Abortion for me.
It should matter because
I said define abortion for me. Define the word.
That's why you answer my question first.
Because I think you have a misunderstanding of what the word abortion means.
No, because some people will say up to 26 weeks, which is crazy. But
okay,
what's your question on how long should it be before a baby can get aborted?
So the definition of abortion is the deliberate termination of pregnancy. So we're looking at the condition of pregnancy itself. Now, I reject your framing that women just wake up at 30 weeks and is like, oh shit, forgot to do something. Should go get that abortion today.
I never said that. You're putting words in my mouth.
But this is the lane you want to drive in. This is the lane you want to drive in. Like
don't put words in my mouth. I never said that. It's traumatic either way. I said that from the beginning.
Right, but you were asking me how late should someone be allowed to get an abortion, which to me says this is the lane. This is you trying to establish morality or personhood.
So
I want to ask you, how is it ethical to force a woman or pregnant person to sustain pregnancy?
Okay, so at 30 weeks, you're saying it's okay to kill a baby. Okay, I got you. So
that's not what I said at all.
Well, I'm trying to explain something.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
You just said if she gets up at 30 weeks and gets the baby aborted.
I said women do not get up at 30 weeks and say, oh shit, forgot to do something. Should go get that abortion today.
Okay, 26 weeks? You haven't
Less
told me
than
an answer.
1.6% of abortions happen after the 21st week. And late term abortion is not a medically accepted phrase.
Right.
It is.
Right. Because it's a life, right?
So Canada has no legislation.
We don't live in Canada, though. I want to hear about here.
Right. But I'm using that as an example because it shows how it's applicable in a similar economy. And women don't just go in and get abortions for convenience. When abortions happen in the later stages of pregnancy, it is because of medical necessity or the lack of
Okay.
fetal development.
Which, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I'm all for medical issues and all for the other reason. But when it comes
Right.
to a woman
So
deciding, well,
there is
I don't
no
have money.
legislation.
Right. But I'm just saying what I don't agree with. If a woman decides, well, I only make 40,000 a year, I cannot have a baby because of this. I mean, again, you still went out and had relations with a man,
Oh my
knowing well
God. Please do not
that
say
you.
consent to sex is consent to pregnancy.
Then what is it?
And you still haven't given me an example, again, of when we force someone to let
What
someone
do you
else
mean?
use their body to survive. Like if
Well,
I
what
needed
I think.
dialysis because my kidneys were failing, you're saying I could just hook up to you and there's nothing you could do?
What are you talking about? We're not talking about that. You're so again. I've told you my stance. I mean, you're saying that because you own the
Your
uterus.
logic is inconsistent.
No, it's just not with your consistency, your mentality. That's why.
No, it's not consistent. That is a fact. Because I have asked you,
Is it really a
give me
fact?
another scenario where we allow someone else to use someone else's body to sustain their life.
So
I
here's
have asked you what laws why it's okay to give women laws that control their reproductive options, but not men.
okay. So again, you're one of the woman out of 1,000 that probably believe this, but there's plenty of women that believe the other thing. There should be a
But
reason to abort a baby. Point blank. I don't want to sit here and argue.
why?
I don't want to give you examples. I shouldn't have to.
It's just self-righteous.
No, it's not self-righteous. It's what
It absolutely
it's
is.
still in my mind. It's a life, and it's. I mean, you're not gonna change my mind on that. It won't happen.
Right, but life has nuance, right? Have you heard of the court case Mcfall V Shrimp?
No, I have not. Tell me a little about it.
So Mcfall had a rare bone marrow disease. I believe it was caused by asbestos. And
Mm-hmm.
without a bone marrow transplant, he was going to die.
Right.
The only match that he found was his first cousin, Shimp. But Shimp did not want to give him his bone marrow. So
Mm-hmm.
Mcfall sued Shimp and tried to compel the courts to give him his bone marrow. The courts ruled against Mcfall and said that he does not have a right to life that requires the use of someone else's body, organs, or fluids without their consent. And 6 weeks after that ruling, he died.
This has nothing to do with abortions, though.
It does, because it
You shouldn't.
essentially, it is actually a huge legal precedent for abortion rights. Because in this case, Mcfall, a 42-year-old man, which I'm sure we can all agree has value, is representing the fetus. The bone marrow is representing the uterus. And Shimp is representing the pregnant person.
Okay, so this is where there's bias, but in this case, it's so there's a case going on right now. Just a couple weeks ago, a guy physically cannot get a new kidney because he ain't gotten the COVID vaccine. He's a
Yes,
male
valid.
and he's gonna die.
Yep, valid.
So again, it's just, I mean, what I'm trying to get at is I just don't
Right.
see.
But you understand the medical necessity of that, right? Like this is not something that is new to COVID.
Right. Is
When
abortion a
you get an
medical?
organ transplant, you go on immunosuppressants for the rest
Right.
of your life so that
Right.
your immune system doesn't reject your foreign kidney. And because of
Okay.
that, you are susceptible to more disease.
See,
And
you're
if
gonna
you
go.
don't have a
No.
certain vaccine,
Oh
you are
my
more
God, I
likely
knew it.
to catch COVID. With a suppressed immune system, you are more likely to die. So we just threw away a kidney or threw away an organ for nothing.
Okay, so it's okay to abort a baby when it doesn't really kill a woman's life or doesn't take a woman's life, but it's okay to
What?
kill a man that needs that kidney. See, what's the difference here?
Brandon.
Bonnie, what do you
It's
think?
the
I'm
same
curious.
thing. What are you talking?
What do you
What are
think,
you
Bonnie?
talking about?
It's not the same thing because that
What is
woman,
different?
that woman that wants to abort a baby has a chance to live through that pregnancy. That man has no chance to
But
live
she
without that
does
kidney.
not consent to the fetus using her uterus, which
Again,
she owns and fundamentally as a human right, as a constitutionally protected right,
you're
as
just
a
one-sided.
legal right with 50 years of legal precedence, and as a medical right. Even the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology says any kind of legislation would be dangerous, ill-advised, and illogical. So there are 4 pillars why this kind of legislation does not make sense.
That doesn't make it right, though.
Abortion is moral.
In your mind, yes.
Right.
I said
Morality is
abortion.
subjective, but
In
again,
my
like
in my
you're,
mind, abortions are only allowed in certain situations. I mean, I don't think it's
why
gonna.
does the fetus's right to life supersede someone's bodily autonomy?
Again, it's a life coming out of you.
That does
It's
not answer my
humanity.
question. Why? And
That's
again,
what I
it is
think.
only the
That's what
potential
I
for life.
think. That's what I think. Because my
You're not
kids.
answering the question.
No, I am answering the question. I will give
You're
my
not.
life for my kids. It's the same difference. What's the
You're
difference
not.
there? What's the difference? It's a
Because
life
your
that's
kids
coming
are
out
not
of you.
moving and leaching off your body.
Well, trust me, I
They're
gave it
not
up out of my
living in
body.
your
They
body.
came out. They swam into my wife's body perfectly. They swam right in there, and I'm proud to have them. Okay,
That that
so
is that is not based in logic.
so again, I will
That is
give my
based
life
in
for my
emotional
kids.
abuse.
So a woman that literally wants to get 5, 6 abortions in a row does not care about life. Don't tell me any different, because
Well, you
if
don't care about women.
well, obviously I don't, but my wife knows I love her, so I do care about women. That's your
Sure.
opinion.
Have you
All
got
right.
daughters?
Bonnie, what do you think? I want to hear you.
Have you got any daughters?
Yeah, I got one daughter and one son.
What would you do if she came to you and said, I've got an abortion?
I mean, I'd be upset, but I love her. I can't I can't disown her for having an abortion.
Why? I mean, according to you, she murdered a baby.
I don't agree with it, but doesn't mean I'm gonna hate somebody for doing it. See, that's the difference between me and other people. I'm not gonna sit here and hate you or hate someone else because they had an abortion. Trust me, I have
I'm not
many.
saying that you should hate them, but I'm just saying, like,
Okay, I'll give you a little
I
background
think if
myself.
your daughter came to you and said, I killed, so if your daughter came to you and said, I killed someone, you wouldn't call the police?
Killed someone? For
Yeah, I
what reason?
murdered someone.
Just murdering for
But
the
it
wrong
is the
reason?
Yeah,
police,
yeah.
isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't been in that situation, so I really don't know. I really don't.
Well,
So
I mean,
here's the
don't you
thing.
value life?
Do I value life? Yeah. But I've
Yeah,
taken life
so
too.
why wouldn't you call the cops?
But I've taken life for other reasons. So I know what it is to take someone's life.
Right. So,
Exactly. So what I'm getting as, in my opinion, is I wouldn't want to take anybody's life unless it was necessary. Truly necessary.
right. So
That's what I'm
her
saying.
example is not a justified killing.
What do you mean? She just asked me if my daughter killed somebody. I don't
I
I
asked you
never,
that. I asked you if your daughter murdered someone, would you call the cops?
I've never been in that situation, so I wouldn't know.
But
I hope it
you
never happens.
like value life, so why wouldn't you?
And then, say, a
Again,
couple of years later,
I don't know how I would act. That's my daughter.
Right, but you value life.
Again, you can't answer something like that in a you can't answer something like that. You just can't. That's a
but,
situation you're not able to answer unless you get there.
but then a
Right.
couple of years later,
Really consistent with your moral compass.
I've had another one.
Yeah, guys,
I'll
I gotta
say,
go to bed. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great night.
okay.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.